YouTube channel. I hope you're having a good day because if you're not, you are about to. What if I told you you can change your past and it's not a clickbait? Neville Goddard proposed many theories on how you can use your imagination to create your dream life, and he was taught all of these by Abdullah, who was a religious teacher. So he proposed one of these techniques. It's called revision technique. And he says you can go back into your past using your imagination, recreate it, but this time when you are revising your past, do something different. Do something different that will influence your future in a different way. So he says that your imagination creates reality. So you can use your imagination to unmake and remake a reality. Let me explain. So I want you to imagine right now, imagine your past, imagine a trauma. Let's say you got abused as a kid. I want you to imagine your past happening right now. Think of it. There's a room and there's a kid and you're getting abused. That's your past, that's your trauma. Remake it in your head, imagine it, but this time, you, who you are right now, enters the room and save that kid. You imagine this to yourself that you save yourself as a kid or as an adult or as a teenage or whatever your trauma was, wherever you were wronged, you were got taken advantage of, you were abused. Just imagine that you save yourself from there. Imagine this for 10 minutes every single day, and your brain will create a new past in your head. A past that is not influenced by what happened to you, but actually what you chose to become. You are who you are right now and not your past. So keep imagining it and then recreate a new past, a past where you actually saved yourself. Do this to yourself every day, and your brain will create a new memory and it will start healing. Let me explain something to you. What is your emotions? What is your memory? Let's go back to basics. So when something happens to you, when an event happens, your body releases hormones and it's called emotions. It's based on like what is going on the outside, and your emotions are actually a means to remember an event. You remember an event because you remember how it felt. That's emotions. Now, when it comes to memory, when significant changes goes on the inside, your brain is like, what is happening? Like, my body is feeling something, so it's like it starts looking outside your brain, and it's like, what is going on the outside, which is affecting my inside so much, and it takes a snapshot, and that's a memory snapshot of the event that caused those emotions, and it's called memory. That is your memory. It's just a snapshot of the event. If you use your imagination and change that snapshot, keep replaying your past in your head, but this time differently. This time you save yourself. This time you do things differently. This time you react differently. This time you behave differently. This time you don't do what actually caused you the trauma. Your brain will eventually start to believe that you were saved. Your brain will eventually start to believe that you came out of it. It didn't happen to you, and you will heal. You can change your past. You can use your imagination and choose to change your past. And you might be thinking, like, why do I do this to myself? Like, it actually happened, so why do I need to forget or create a past like which is different from what actually happened to me? It is actually happening right now. You are actually saving your younger self right now. If there was something to happen to a kid, or like what happened to you, what your trauma is happening to someone else right now, you would go and save them. Who you are right now is actually saving yourself, your younger self already. And that younger self is still inside of you. And that is the biggest reassurance you needed to heal yourself. When I say imagine yourself as a kid or your younger self and try to change that past and do things differently, you would do things differently right now. It means you are doing it differently right now. Who you are right now would have protected you as a kid. So recreate your past. Keep thinking about your past and do it differently this time. Tell yourself, keep telling your brain, like change your brain's memory about yourself. Change your brain's memory, because when you start thinking about your past and you're embarrassed, you feel extreme guilt or shame or fear or anxiety, you keep your telling your brain that it happened to you. Your brain will create a new reality based on that past, and that wouldn't be good, obviously, because it's coming from negative emotions. So you just have to go back into your past and save that kid and save that teenager and save that adult, and that would definitely mean that you have healed yourself. So the whole idea of this technique is that you let go of the negative emotions that are attached to your past, and when you do that, you create a new future or a new present, because your past created your present, who you are right now. A revised path would create a revised present. So I want you to imagine how healthy and beautiful your present would be if whatever happened to you didn't happen to you. That is what you are going to do. You are going to imagine your past every single day for 10 minutes, and this time you save yourself. Your brain will start thinking that you actually saved yourself and you are saved. You are not just a victim. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become of it. And stop being a victim all the time. I know it was sad. I know it wasn't supposed to happen to you and no one came to save you, but you saved yourself. And that's enough. You don't have to victimize yourself so much. Okay, it happened to you. Now what? Now heal yourself. Now come out of it. Now create a new reality for yourself, which is not based off of your past. And honestly, become like very aware of yourself. Whenever I do something, I realize, oh, I am doing this because something happened in my past which is influencing this. Like I'm actually aware of it, you know. So for example, I have seen this among people, like if there's like a loud sound and someone goes like this, it means when they were a kid, usually it means that they were in like an abusive household, or they were around people who were like always shouting or always loud, or like they raised their voice to convey their point. If they're coming from that background, they become very sensitive to loud noises. So you have to imagine yourself, I'm not a victim. I am not a product of what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. So I will not let loud noises dictate me. I will not get triggered by loud noises. I will not, react to fear that way. And you keep telling yourself, it didn't happen to me. No, it didn't happen to me. I saved myself, and I took myself to a beautiful place. If there was like fights going on in my family, I would take myself to a beautiful place and heal myself, and I wouldn't hear those noises. You keep telling yourself that, you close your eyes and imagine a past that were different than what happened to you. Eventually your brain will start accepting that as a reality, and you will no longer feel triggered to loud noises. This is what I'm saying. And you have to become aware of yourself. You have to understand, what is it going on in my life right now, which is specifically a product of my past. I'm reacting this way because something happened to me. And you just have to change yourself, change that past, create a revised past to create a revised present, and you will change your life. Heal yourself, change yourself. And the worst thing that you can imagine has happened to me. So if I can heal, you can heal. You can heal from anything. All these limitations are people limitations. So don't put their limitations on yourself. A lot of people glamorize suffering. They want to suffer, and then they start romanticizing it, reading books that like reinforce their suffering, or like listening to sad music or sad poetry and become miserable for the rest of your life. God didn't put you on earth to suffer, by the way. And if He, out of all the realities, He chose this reality for you, He knew you could make out of it. If you cannot live my life, you would die if you were to go through the situations that I went through. And similarly, for me, I cannot live your life. We were put on this earth in our respective realities because it was only us who can make out of it. It was only us. It was within us to make out of it. Don't underestimate God's ability to heal you. You can heal. You can heal from anything if you stop victimizing yourself and become stoic. Bring it in you. It's okay. It happened to you, so now what? How can you change your pain into your biggest power? You can never hurt me. You can never hurt me because I will always alchemize my pain into something bigger. If you hurt me, I will use that pain and become 100 times more successful. Like watch me. Watch me become more successful. Because you can never hurt me. I will leave that on God. I will recreate my past and recreate my present, and I will actually become the greatest version of myself using that pain. Look at your pain as the biggest tool towards your success. You can actually become successful. You can actually heal from anything. Anything people throw at you, you can heal just by reimagining yourself, just by believing that I refuse to take this reality as my reality and I will change because I deserve it and I will create a better life for myself than what people gave me. The family that you're born into or some of the traumas that you go through are not really you have no control over it. And then you become an adult and you have control over things. And in both the cases, if you made mistakes or something happened to you can change it just by thinking that you saved yourself because you are saving yourself right now. Another thing that I always tell people about their traumas is that you don't share with anyone. So one of my friends told me the story of a girl had who got abused as a kid in school, but when she brought it up to like the administration, they put all the blame on the girl and not the teacher, and it was a female teacher to my surprise. And so when she like started her higher studies, she was seeking that validation that her pain was validated outside of her. So she shared it with her friends. And can you imagine like it's your worst trauma, you share it with your friends, and then they go and spread it among everyone in the school, like in the higher studies. They tell everyone this is what happened to her in school. So like just stay away from her. You never know what she is. Like imagine you come out from school with this trauma and then you go to higher studies and you share it with people probably looking for like someone to rescue you or someone to tell you that your pain was validated or someone to actually believe in you, and they end up spreading that story and actually putting it all on you again. Don't share it with anyone because people will never understand your pain. And you don't have to have other people tell you that your pain is validated to feel your pain. My pain is validated because I went through it. You have to believe it. Something bad happened to you. You have to understand that you deserve to cry. You deserve healing, that you deserve love. You have to tell yourself, you have to validate yourself and not look for validation outside of you. You can look for validation from God and He'll give you everything. But looking for validation from people, they will always use it against you. I highly don't recommend that. And on a psychological level, the thing is that your brain, just as I was talking about the revision of the past, I'm saying if you keep repeating something bad that happened to you, it will reinforce in your brain because your brain does not know the difference between reality and your thoughts. So if you are thinking, for example, someone is sitting right next to me and I'm telling them about their trauma, my brain starts thinking it is happening again. So my brain will keep my body in that stiff position or in that stress mode or in survival mode again because it starts thinking that I'm in that reality again. And then another person comes in and I tell them my traumas and past and stories. My brain will start thinking it's happening again. It's happening again. The more you revise like your traumas in you think you are telling people and people will heal you or like reassure you or validate you, in fact you are telling your brain that it's happening again, it's happening again, it's happening again, and your brain starts thinking that you just suffer all the time. So it creates a future for you which is also suffering because you keep telling your brain about suffering. Stop telling your brain about suffering all the time. Stop sharing it with people. They are not going to save you. You are. I always say these to the kids, especially those who got abused or who have like traumas with relationships. Don't share it with anyone except God, because people don't understand. They will never heal you. You heal yourself. You tell yourself like it didn't happen to you, and if it did, I will save myself in imagination all the time, all the time, all the time until I change that memory in my brain. And if I change that memory in my brain, I change my reality. I change my future. You can always choose to have control. You can always heal yourself and become a highest version of yourself. Now, I want you to take out your laptop or your phone and write down everything that you want in your future self. And I mean, be very precise. Everything that you want, the kind of car you want, the kind of partner you want, the country that you want to spend your life in, be very precise and write everything, your future job, your dream life, everything. And then put that information into ChatGPT and ask him to tell me a day in the life of my future self. And it's going to give you very detailed version of your day in a life of a future self who has everything that you want right now. It will change your brain chemistry. You will see your future self having it. And then ask ChatGPT to give me a routine. Tell me what do I do, like based on this future and future life that I want. Tell me daily routine that I need to do to get to this future. And then start practicing that schedule every day to become your highest self. Your highest self is calling you. When you read that, you will realize it yourself. Just how we can create a revised past to influence our present, we can also change our present to influence our future and attract a better life for ourselves. Thank you for watching this video, and I love you so much. Bye bye.